So recently, I turned 30 years old, and over the past decade, I've gone from living paycheck to paycheck, saving 0% of my income, to having a monthly savings rate that's gone up to as high as around 60%. Now, I know that's a high number, and I don't say that to brag, but I truly believe the main reason I've been able to do that is because I built out a super simple but effective budgeting method that I've been very consistent with over the years. And this budgeting method's essentially allowed me to run myself like a business, and it's the core reason behind how I was able to figure out exactly what I had to do to both increase my earnings and decrease my spending. So in this video, I want to explain this budgeting method and how you can actually copy and steal this for yourself. And before you click away because you think budgeting doesn't work, I want to promise you guys two things if you stick around and watch this. Number one, I'm going to keep this video short and to the point because I know budgeting sounds boring and that's how I used to feel about this topic myself. But if you give me like 13 or 14 minutes of your time, I guarantee you'll want to give this budgeting method a try and you will increase your savings rate by doing it. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to start saving 60% of your income because I fully recognize there's some issues with doing that, which we'll talk about later on here. But the goal of this video, again, is really just to help anyone that's watching this to increase your savings rate in a way that's meaningful to you and your financial situation. And promise number two is that I've got nothing to sell you here, but instead I just want to give you guys access to the same free budgeting template that I created and use myself. But I do have to explain how this template actually works. So with that said, let's go ahead and just get right into the video here to show you what I'm talking about. All right, now on the screen, I've loaded up my budget with some sample numbers where you can see that I've got things split up into 4 sections. So over on the left, we've got our income budget at the top and our expenses budget below that on the bottom. And then over on the right, we've got our actual income at the top and our actual expenses at the bottom. Now, the basic idea with how this works is that at the beginning of every month, you're going to start in that income budget section in the top left, and you're just going to enter in the different types of income that you think you're going to earn based on what you've earned in previous months. This can include things like money you're earning from paychecks, money your partner is earning if you're budgeting with someone else, income from side hustles, and even interest income you might be earning from a high yield savings account. And if you want to see the exact savings account I use, then I'll go ahead and leave a link down below in the description where you can check that out. So right here, I typed in some sample income sources like 4 total paychecks per month that a typical working couple might expect, along with a few other things. And you can see this spreadsheet added all this up to get a total of $9,555. Now, while we're at the beginning of this video, I also want to mention that you can customize the spreadsheet if you need to by just adding some rows or playing around with formulas inside of these cells. So just double click into any cell if you need to edit a formula. And I really recommend importing the spreadsheet into Google Sheets if you can, because I really just like how they actually explain how all these different formulas work if you're new to this stuff and you need an explanation. All right, now after you've typed in your estimated income in the income budget section at the beginning of the month, next you want to go ahead and move down to the expenses budget below that, and then just try to do your best at estimating what categories you're going to be spending money in as well. What I've found works best after years of doing this is to split up these categories into both fixed and variable expenses. So fixed expenses are categories that just stay the same from month to month, like housing with your rent or mortgage, subscriptions, your cell phone bill, and any other stuff like that. And I like to include insurance premiums in this section as well, like my car insurance, even though I pay for my car insurance upfront for 6 months at a time. For something like car insurance where you're paying upfront, I just divide that by the 6 months this premium's for to get a monthly amount, which I then go ahead and type in for my car insurance cost each month. Now, this expense is actually down for me recently because every year I like to shop around for new car insurance to make sure I'm not overpaying. So if you want a quick budgeting win, then I included a link right here within the spreadsheet to the exact tool that I use to compare car insurance rates, which might help you to save some money as well. And I'll also go ahead and leave that link down below in the description as well if you want to check that out after watching the rest of this video. Under that though, we've got variable expenses for things like groceries, miscellaneous stuff, travel, dining, or really anything else that can go up or down depending on the month. And by the way, these are pretty close to the exact categories that I like to use when I'm budgeting, but again, you can go ahead and change up the names of these categories if you want to. Now, like I said, these are sample numbers, but at the bottom here, you can see this spreadsheet is going to add up the combined fixed and variable expenses and tell us that our total estimated budget for spending is going to be $5,970. And below that, this spreadsheet also calculates that based on our income estimates and our expense estimates, we're going to be saving $3,585 as profit this month. Again, I like to run myself like a business, which is why I like using the word profit here. And as a profit margin or savings rate, that would be 37.52%, which is honestly really good. However, this is the part of the video where I've got to mention one major problem with budgeting that almost everyone runs into when they get started with doing this, and that is that almost everyone greatly underestimates how much they're spending in different categories, and that means they're greatly overestimating how much they're saving or how much profit they have left over at the end of each month. Figuring out how much you're going to earn can be much easier because income tends to be a bit more consistent than expenses, especially if you have a fixed salary or a fixed hourly rate at your job. So that's where the other half of this spreadsheet and my strategy around budgeting comes into play. What we're going to do over here on the right side of this budget is that as the month goes on, we're just going to track and then type in our actual income as paychecks and other deposits hit our bank account. And we're also going to track and then type in our actual expenses as we pay for things with our credit cards, debit cards, cash, or bank transfers. As we do that, this column over here on the left is going to add up the various transactions that we tag in the different categories from our actual expenses. And if we're equal to or under budget, then the cell for that category is going to stay green. But if we do go over budget, then that cell is going to turn red to tell us that we've overspent on, let's say, groceries or dining that month. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to help give you a high-level visual on exactly where you're overspending each month, and that feedback is what's going to be crucial in helping you decide A, if you have a spending problem, B, where that spending problem is coming from within your budget, or C, if you just have an income problem because maybe your spending is under control but you're just not making enough money. Honestly, for many people, you might have a mix of all the above there because that was the case with me. So what I did about that is what I want to recommend to you here as well, and that is to use this budgeting template for 3 months. But for those 3 months, I want you to actually make 0 changes to your life and to your spending habits. What you want to do is just establish an average monthly financial baseline, because one of the hardest things about budgeting is that it just requires a lot of consistency to be good at it, and being consistent with budgeting can be really challenging. So if you're trying to be consistent while also trying to cut back on your spending and also increase your income at the same time, you're more likely to fail at all those things rather than just be successful at one of them. So we want to succeed at being consistent with budgeting for 3 months first, and then we can go ahead and start to address any other stuff after that. And I think this budgeting template right here is going to be the perfect tool for building that consistency. Now, to show you how to enter in your expenses, what you want to do is first to go to your bank account or your credit card accounts or whatever payment methods you're using the most, and then you want to type in the name of each expense first. So here I'll type in groceries because that's a pretty common one. And then next to that, I like to get pretty detailed by typing in the vendor as well, which we'll say was Trader Joe's for this example. For the category column, I made it so that each cell here has a drop-down list that's based on the exact categories you have over on the left of the spreadsheet under the expenses budget section. So I'm going to go ahead and start typing in groceries and then just hit the tab key or select that from the drop-down. And then we'll say that I spent $100 on this grocery store trip over to Trader Joe's. Immediately, you'll see this $100 amount automatically populates over here on the left, so that way I can compare all my grocery spend against the $800 budget that I might have for that category. And then back over on the right of the screen, I like to track a few other things as well with every expense, like the date and the payment method. Now, because I'm a big credit card guy and I like to maximize the rewards I'm earning for every single dollar I spend, I went ahead and created a drop-down list over here as well with the names of some of the most popular credit cards. And this drop-down list is coming from the card names I have over in this payment methods tab at the bottom of the screen. So in case you ever want to change the names here, you can go ahead over to that tab and do that. You can also type in Venmo, cash, or bank transfer if you're not paying with a credit card. But for this grocery expense, I would use my Amex Gold to earn 4x points per dollar, which I can then enter under the points multiplier column as well. There's some other cells that calculate the points earned, the baseline value of those points, and the baseline return on spend as well. But honestly, that's all just extra stuff if you're a credit card nerd like me. So what we really care about here, obviously, are just the numbers all the way on the left of the spreadsheet that really tell us how close we are to being on budget. Now, to show you what happens if we go over budget on something, let's say that I only have a $350 travel budget this month, but maybe I had to buy a ticket for a flight that costs $400. So if I type that in under the actual expenses section, we'll say that I had a flight purchase that was from Delta that we're going to put in the travel category. And again, we'll say that was for a total of $400. Now you'll see though that the cell under the column to the left turned red because we budgeted for $350 of travel expenses and then we went over that. So again, step 1 here with this budgeting method is to download the budgeting template, which I'll go ahead and link to down below in the description. And then you want to manually track your expenses for 3 months to understand really just how much you're actually spending on different things. Now, I know that manually tracking your expenses can feel very time consuming and even kind of inefficient when there's so many apps out there that can automatically track these things for you as well. But the idea here is that manually budgeting like this, it just kind of forces you to actively relive the reality of your spending habits as opposed to just passively kind of keeping tabs on your spending. And I think doing that is a very powerful thing. You could still use, and actually I do recommend you try using budgeting apps like Rocket Money, for example, that allow you to link your bank accounts and your credit card accounts all in one single place to actually just save you time and kind of help you in a good way. But then, like I said, every week or at least every other week, I want you to track your income and track your expenses for 3 months straight. After that, now you're going to have a much more accurate baseline of where your monthly cash flow stands, and hopefully budgeting is going to feel much more like a habit as well. And then what you want to do is start adjusting your expenses budget to more accurately reflect how much you're actually spending now that you have a better idea. From there, you want to start cutting out any waste from your budget to get your expenses as low as you can with minimal effort by just cutting out any junk you might find in your spending that won't affect your life too much. And then after that, if you still need to increase your savings even more, at that point you should start to look at cutting back on the larger expenses that might have a more meaningful impact. These can include things like car payments that are too high, a rent or a mortgage that's more than you can afford, or really any other expenses that can save you significant money each month. But just be aware that the downside to cutting back on these types of expenses is that they can sometimes require you to change your lifestyle, which can be a really tough thing to do for most people. Now, even though trading in your car for a cheaper one, bringing on a roommate, or moving to a different area is not always ideal, if it's able to help you increase your savings, then it might be worth it, but you just have to consider the trade-offs. After that though, the key thing to remember about budgeting is that you can only decrease your expenses so much because there is a limit to doing that, and there's always going to be a cost of living, so your expenses are never going to be zero. But increasing your income is unlimited, and so I know this sounds obvious and clearly it's easier said than done, but after you've budgeted consistently and you're aware of where you're spending your money and you've decreased your expenses to be as low as possible while still being seem comfortable enough for you, the reality is that increasing your income is the only thing that's going to increase your savings rate. That's something I realized back in 2021 when I started this YouTube channel, as I was making somewhere between $60,000 to $70,000 at my 9-to-5 job. So I had moved in with my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. Our expenses were super low. We had a really simple 1-bedroom apartment and we didn't spend that much at all. And we got our savings rate to be pretty good at around 20 to 30% of our income. But one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel was because I saw that content creation was a very real side hustle that could possibly generate maybe an extra few $100s per month for me. So because I couldn't really decrease my expenses anymore, and because I worked a job with a salary that I couldn't get promoted at very soon, I just went ahead and shifted my focus from spending less to earning more with a side hustle. Now again, I know that sounds like I'm oversimplifying things by saying to just earn more to increase your savings rate, but it really does come down to that. And I also know that my situation was probably way easier than most because I had no kids, no mortgage, and very little debt. But again, my hope is that this budgeting template just helps anyone that's watching this to become more aware of their own financial situation. Maybe you can decrease your spending, or maybe you just have to actually switch careers or move somewhere new or something like that. And again, I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy, but easy is a relative term, so my easy is not the same as your easy, and your easy is not the same as someone else's easy. So if you take away anything from this video, don't compare your financial situation to anyone else's, but instead just concentrate on your own path and what's in front of you by using tools like this budgeting template to get a better understanding of what your next moves need to be. I think too many people give up on budgeting, or they just shy away from it because they look at going from $0 per month to $2,000 per month and they see that as impossible. But in reality, the goal is not to make that jump all at once, it's to go from saving $0 to $50 and then $50 to $100 and so on. So like I said, promise number 1 for this video was to keep it short and to the point, which is what we just did. And promise number 2 is that I have nothing to sell you and that this budgeting template from this video is going to be available to download absolutely for free. So make sure to go ahead and download that with a link down below in the description. Now with that link, we're going to send you an email copy of the spreadsheet that I showed you, which is already set up with a budget for each month out of the year, which you can then just copy again for next year as well. And I'm also going to send you a free copy of my net worth tracker, which is cool because you can use that alongside this budget to kind of just track your wealth as it grows over time. Personally, my wife and I like to sit down and update our budget every single weekend, and then we update our net worth tracker once per month. And honestly, I'm so glad we started doing those two things years ago because it is very, very cool to kind of just look back and see where our finances were in the past compared to where they are today. Now, as you do start increasing your savings rate, you want to make sure your savings are actually earning some money for you in a high yield savings account while you figure out what you want to do with it next. So if you want to learn more about the best savings accounts out there right now that I recommend, then make sure to go ahead and check out this video over here on the screen next. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.